Charlottesville, Mr. Toscano.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the governor's veto.
The gentleman has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House. You know, we've been around this issue for a long time. We've seen similar bills like this in the past. Going to be similar arguments, but a couple new ones. There are a couple things I think we ought to keep in mind. First of all, I don't think anyone can really seriously dispute the fact that burning coal has an impact on the climate. You might have seen a couple stories over the weekend that said that climate change is having an impact on the Chesapeake Bay. And for all of you who want to clean up that bay and make it an amenity where people can enjoy it, fish it, get the economic development out of it, you should be concerned about that. Now, I know there are some people in this body that might dispute the science of climate change. But for me, let me say unequivocally, I believe in science. And I believe that science is telling us we have a problem that is being generated by human activity, and a lot of it's coming from the burning of coal. Okay, so put that aside for a moment and ask yourself the question whether you can agree to this. Since 1986, when we first put these coal tax credits into effect, production in the coal fields have plummeted. I think you can agree that also employment in the coal fields has plummeted. So the very reason why we put these credits into effect, which was to encourage production and create jobs, did not work. In the many years I've been here, I don't think anybody's been able to dispute those facts. I don't think people can dispute the fact that natural gas is now cheaper than coal for electricity. Heck, solar is getting there real fast. And that automation is having a tremendous impact on job creation in the coal fields. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, it's Mr. Market that is killing coal, not Mr. Massey. If you look at Goldman Sachs, I know you all read the memos of Goldman Sachs. They are saying that the prospects are dim for coal. So we've got to figure out a different way to help coal country rather than putting millions of dollars into the hands of utility companies and coal companies rather than helping workers directly. Mr. Speaker, $637 million has been sent to the big utility companies and the big coal companies out of your tax dollars in the last 20 years for these coal tax credits. Okay, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, you've heard a lot of that before. What can I say that's new? Okay, I can tell you something that is new. Flash. Donald Trump has ended the war on coal. The Clean Power Plan is gone. That was part of the rationale for this tax credit in the first place. It's gone, wiped off. You can no longer blame the decline in the coal industry on Obama. It's Mr. Market. But there is one thing you can say. You can say when your constituents ask you, as they will, why are we doing this? They will come to you and they will say, Mr. or Mrs. Delegate, given our budget challenges and the needs in our schools and the needs for health care, do you think it is a good idea to send millions of our tax dollars to support big coal companies and utilities and to prop up a failing industry? That is the question that you are going to be asked. You in Northern Virginia, you in Hampton Roads, Your constituents are going to ask you why you are sending our tax dollars to a place that doesn't create jobs. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, I hope you will answer that question today by saying no and supporting the governor's veto of this legislation by voting no. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.